Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to the Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency technical, on-chain, and fundamental analysis. And in today's episode, I'm wearing a hat. This hat caused all kinds of drama on Twitter yesterday, and I'm going to show you what I mean. No, our baby did not come preterm. It was a misunderstanding, okay? I'm going to jump into it. If you guys are followers of me over on Twitter, if not, make sure to check the link down below. But if you follow me over on Twitter, then you probably will have seen the kind of drama that this hat caused. I think a lot of people thought that our daughter had come already. The reason I showed you this hat on Twitter was because I'm already a crypto dad. I already have one son, and then obviously I have a daughter. She just hasn't been born yet. Anyway, we're going to get into all of that later. You came for the fact that Kraken is getting cracked down on by Gary Gensler, who is the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. People claim that Gary Gensler is a lizard person. People claim that he is part of the Illuminati. People claim that he is the leader of the World Economic Forum behind the scenes, that he's like the leader of the dark forces that are moving around the whole economy. Like, I don't know. People come up with all kinds of weird stuff. People think that he's an alien. I don't know. People think that he's like the Borg sent him. I don't know. This guy is not exactly the greatest politician in the history of mankind, but he gets some really weird accusations thrown at him. Anywho, the fact of the matter is, Gary Gensler's Securities and Exchange Commission cracked down on Kraken over the last 24 hours, and Kraken has agreed to settle and pay a $30 million fine to the Securities and Exchange Commission as part of the settlement, and they will now be shutting down all staking services on their platform. Oof. Crypto winter might be getting a little bit more cold. Maybe that groundhog Gary Gensler came out and we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter because he didn't see his shadow, and we're going to have to really figure out how to work in this new environment where the global economy is very difficult to navigate, but also the regulatory environment is quite difficult to navigate for the cryptocurrency market. We're going to talk about what this is. You're probably wondering what the news even is, but then we're also going to talk about what it may mean for Kraken, but also for the future of crypto commodities, not securities, and where the staking question comes into play. But let's go ahead and jump into chat. Really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Looks like we got Rock and Metal News in chat. Said, hi, Jebb. What's up, Rock and Metal News? Good to see you, my friend. You are almost always first, so big shout out to you. We got Grand Roofing Incorporated in chat. Said, good morning, Jebb and all. Oh my, said, good morning, everybody. Have a good day. Hope everybody has a good day. Hashtag FinSolve. And today is what we talk about on our channel all the time. Hashtag FinSolve Friday. Welcome to FinSolve Friday. If you don't know, financial sovereignty is the concept that this entire channel is built around, of you having complete and total sovereignty control over your finances so that you are the one that is in charge of your finances. Very, very important thing. We've got Mike Lowry in chat as well. We've got Crypto Ben Franklin in chat. Said, good morning and happy Friday. Good morning and happy Friday. We've got Crypto Mini Bike in chat. Said, good morning, everyone. Hello. We've got Mike Lowry in chat as well. I think I already said your name. Jeremy Shorter here said, good morning, folks. Justin Eubanks said, good morning. Jebb B-Rant said, nice hat. I think I may have already read that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Backstory behind this hat. This is a hat that is hashtag not sponsored anymore, because we did used to be sponsored by the people that gave me this hat. This hat is actually from I Trust Capital. Again, they're not an active sponsor of the channel right now, but they did used to be. And got a good product. I tell you guys the truth when I promote products. I think I Trust Capital is a pretty good product. I wasn't paid to say that. This is not sponsored right now. We used to be sponsored. Anyway, they sent me this hat a long time ago before they found out that I was getting married and I was a dad. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's awesome. I have a hat that says Crypto Dad. Boom. So there you go. It's just been sitting in my closet, so I figured I'd rock it today. Show it. I might not wear it the whole stream, but man, I am really looking forward to getting a haircut. So maybe we will leave it on. Crypto Mini Bike in chat. Let's see. You know the thing. So the staking news is not that big of a deal. It is just focused on centralized exchanges, not self-custody staking, which is what we should all be doing anyway. Agreed. You kind of jumped to the point. That is a good point. Crypto Mini Bike said, happy Fence-Off Friday. Going to go out and start building my cabin today. Hope to have the floor down this weekend. Wow. Okay. So wait a minute. You're going to start building your cabin today, and you're hoping to have the floor down this weekend. As in the flooring. Don't you normally complete the framing and everything? I mean, I'm thinking about not necessarily talking about like a log cabin. Normally you do the flooring towards the end after you have the roofing on. Anyway, I'm really excited for you. That's pretty cool. Sucks the US we can't leverage anymore. Yeah, that's been difficult for a long time. All my staking is from wallets, not exchanges. There you go. That is one of the takeaways. You guys jumped straight to it. If you're going to enjoy or looking forward to or are excited about today's stream, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 100 likes before we even jump right on into it. All right. Well, we've got to just kind of go ahead and check out the we've just got to go ahead and check out the news. Give me 1 second. Grab something here for you. I believe this was over on Gary Gensler's Twitter. Yes, here it is. All right. So, this is the news. These are the facts, Jack. Kraken will stop offering U.S. crypto staking and pay a $30 million penalty after settling with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Kraken has agreed to end its staking program in the U.S. and pay $30 million to settle a probe by the SEC. The crypto exchange's service offered its customers returns if they put up their tokens for staking. Bitcoin and Ethereum were trading lower Friday as the crypto industry pushed back against the SEC move. And this is war. This is what we are looking at right now, is basically an open declaration of war on the vast majority of cryptocurrencies. Because if the SEC wants to make the argument that staking is a security, then they have to make the argument that that the vast majority of cryptocurrency projects in this industry, especially Ethereum, are securities. That should not be how this is regulated. I'll just put the opinion out here first and foremost. Staking, there's a lot of different things that go into staking, whether it's custodial or non-custodial, whether it's liquid, whether it's non-liquid. The fact of the matter is staking is not the same mechanism as securities law. You cannot apply securities law to staking and expect it to operate the same way. That is like trying to walk into a country that speaks German and you're speaking French and you're saying, well, they kind of look similar. They both have Latin roots. So therefore, forget your German. I'm just going to speak French. It doesn't work that way. They're different languages. Okay? The stock market and cryptocurrencies are completely different things. And that is what Gary Gensler conveniently is sidestepping. Because if Gary Gensler can make the argument that some aspect of cryptocurrency are securities, then he and his administration, his commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, have legal authority and sovereignty over that branch of cryptocurrency. The fact is, and this is a fact, I suppose it's an opinion, but it's a very well substantiated opinion with fact, is that the securities definition was not created for this industry. It was created for companies and the stock market. These are two completely different industries. We need to have a new term defined for cryptocurrency, the same way in the landmark the Howey Supreme Court case back in 1934. The same way that established basically the framework for securities law moving forward, we need the exact same thing today. And look, it very well may have to go to the Supreme Court the same way it did for the original securities, definition. In fact, let me just go ahead and bring up a definition here that I have found to be pretty helpful before. There is securities. I believe Investopedia has an article here. Investopedia has an article here. I think it's right here. Here we go. So basically, again, we're going to go back to the news, but I want to just kind of break down what a security is. I said the 30s. I'm sorry. It was the 40s. It was Howey versus the SEC in 1946. This was the case that established something called the four-pronged Howey test. These are the different things that constitute whether something is a security or not. Again, you have to remember the context. This was talking about the stock market. This was not talking about the Securities Act of 1933 is where I was getting the 30s from. This is not discussing the cryptocurrency market. This is almost 80 years before the cryptocurrency market was even founded. So the Howey test states that an investment can be regulated as a security if there is an investment of money. Fair enough. The investment of money is made into a common enterprise. You already broke down because the common enterprise requires centralization. If the cryptocurrency is truly decentralized, then we should not have a common enterprise. Or at least you have maybe because it's decentralized, you have a multitude of commonly working together enterprises, but they are not common it is not a singular common enterprise. There is no P.O. box where you can serve a summons to Ethereum the way you could to Google during their antitrust lawsuit that the United States is filing against them right now. The investor expects to make a profit from their investment. That is true. You do expect to make a profit from your investment. However, this is the part that makes it very difficult. Any expected profits or returns are due to the actions of a third party or a promoter. The third party and or promoter in the staking protocol, if it is set up in the way that it is set up on Cardano, and frankly, even if it's set up in a similar way that it's set up on Ethereum, you are not generating it from the actions necessarily of a third party. You are more so generating it from the actions of an intangible blockchain series of code. This is not a security. This needs to be regulated a different way, because if you look at this from the surface, then okay, it seems like that staking fits into this investment, but only if you're trying to fit a square that's a little bit smaller into a round hole. It doesn't fit perfectly. That's not designed for it. This is not the way that this is supposed to be applied. This was not designed to be applied in the context of an investment contract with Ethereum. This was designed in the investment contract of land and agricultural services. There's a big difference. Anyway, moving on here to the article. Kraken has agreed to stop offering crypto staking services to U.S. customers and to pay $30 million as part of a settlement with regulators over charges it failed to register the yield-bearing program. This meant the major crypto exchange didn't have the proper protections in place for those investors while allowing them to stake their crypto, the SEC said in a statement Thursday. The SEC move marked its first big crackdown on staking, drawing pushback from the crypto industry and concerns more enforcement could lie ahead. Whether it's through staking as a service, lending, or other means, crypto intermediaries, when offering investment contracts in exchange for investors' tokens, need to provide the proper disclosures and safeguards required by our securities law. And look, I'm not trying to buck the idea of having some kind of regulation, because there does need to be some kind of regulatory clarity. And frankly, a lot of these staking protocols, especially Gemini, which loaned money to Genesis, and then Genesis turned around and went bankrupt, that is a big problem. That people are losing money in staking protocols while staking them on centralized exchanges. That's a huge problem. And that does need to be regulated in some capacity. That does need to be countered in some capacity. Something needs to be done about that. The problem is that securities law was not designed to handle that kind of problem. Securities law was designed to handle if you were buying a stock that is expected to go up in value and very well may provide dividends. Those are two different things. Ethereum going up and then providing staking being the equivalent of dividends, you were trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it just doesn't fit. You can try and force it, but it doesn't fit. You need a different hole. You need a different regulatory framework. That's why we keep talking about this idea of a regulatory framework. That's what we need. We don't need to try and fit the market into securities definitions, because securities definitions work for companies where you can have a specific person do the disclosures. In cryptocurrency, not so much. Now, let me back up and play devil's advocate here for a second for the Securities and Exchange Commission. Genesis did just go down. DCG could be in the process of going down. Gemini is out $900 million because of this. BlockFi went down due to its staking program and the amount of money that it was lending around. FTX went down for plenty of different shady reasons. The SEC, at the moment, either needs to champion a new commission to be created for cryptocurrency, or, yeah, somebody does need to probably do something about a lot of this nonsense that's going on in the market, especially to do with staking and lending. There is a real problem here. Okay? Celsius, that was a real problem. Voyager, real problem. FTX, BlockFi, Genesis, Gemini, real problem. Wrong solution. That's my point. All right. So let's go ahead and look at Gary Gensler's Twitter, because he has a post on this. Today, at SEC Gov charged Kraken for the unregistered offer and sale of securities through its staking as a service program. Whether it's through staking as a service, lending, or other means, crypto intermediaries must provide proper disclosures and safeguards required by our law. I actually don't necessarily disagree with the idea that crypto intermediaries that are providing these services should go through certain disclosures. They should. So as far like even on trending right now, everybody's saying hashtag Gary Gensler resign. Well, hang on. Let's make sure we're looking at this from a logical point of view. Weren't we complaining 2 months ago, not complaining, but raising concern 2 months ago that FTX didn't have the proper disclosures? Weren't we annoyed? Not annoyed. Bible tells us not to be frustrated, but weren't we, and it gives us the power not to be, weren't we discontent? Maybe that's a word. Discontent that Genesis didn't have the proper disclosures. DCG didn't have the proper disclosures. The Gemini didn't have the proper disclosures. BlockFi didn't have the proper disclosures. Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, FTX didn't have the proper disclosures. Weren't we concerned that that didn't have proper oversight? We were, and for good reason. There should be a certain degree of vulnerability with the finances, at least to the public, if not, sure, fine, to some kind of regulatory government agency. I would be fine with it all just being made public and letting the market decide on its own rather than having to get the government involved. But if the government's going to get involved, fair enough. That's a good place to look. There need to be certain disclosures. My point is that Kraken and staking are not securities and they don't fit into that definition. That's the problem. And so somebody even responded to this. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was the top response. Yes. There's a lot of people responding to this. One of them being a colleague of mine, Dan Gambarillo. You guys probably know him. We've had him on the channel a few times. Crypto Recruiter. Somebody send that to him. Crypto Recruiter. And over on Twitter, of course, he's Coin Capital Venture. First and foremost, I love Jesus Christ. Love that. Saved through his grace. Anyway, he says this validates the Cardano staking consensus mechanism. 1, delegators really are staking ADA. 2, independent node operators are not lending or trading staked ADA. 3, the rewards come from the protocol itself. That is a big, big, important point because remember what we talked about with the definition. Any expected profits or returns are due to the action of a third party or promoter. There is no third party or promoter in the case of Cardano, which is what Charles Hoskinson was saying, because it is from the protocol itself. Rewards are based on a luck system, and delegators do get fair shares. Cardano is genuinely creating value. It's liquid, unlocked staking. Let's see. There was a response here that I really liked that I wanted to read, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Nick DiMonde, you guys probably know him. He's a pretty big guy here on over on around the blockchain and with the BitBoy crypto team. He said, "You fundamentally don't understand staking. It's mechanics and value to crypto, and this is coming from a proof of work maxi resigned right now," saying to Gary Gensler. And that's kind of my point, is that there is a very different approach that you need to bring to this than just saying, "Hey, I'm going to ban it." This person, Ki Young Ju, said, "Can you please share your plans for regulating decentralized staking services like Lindo Finance using on-chain data for appropriate disclosures?" That's my point, is that you don't have the ability to necessarily... What Gary Gensler is asking of the industry in the decentralized aspect is, 1, not possible, and 2, can't be enforced because you don't have... If it's truly decentralized, if it's truly DeFi, you can't have those kind of disclosures built into the blockchain because who's going to be the one doing the disclosure? As far as it can be coded in that a lot of it's public facing and it's all out there, fair enough, but you have to then use that you then have to use that information and tailor the regulation to the information that is being presented, or you have to force the different kinds of cryptocurrency projects to say you need to require this certain amount of information to be published. I am not saying that regulation and oversight and disclosures are a bad thing, because they're actually not, but securities law is not the law to go with. You need to set up a new commission. Rudy Poo said, "Jebb calling for a new commission is like a vote of no confidence. We need a new leader. I vote for Chancellor Palpatine." No, not Palpatine. We don't need Palpatine. Palpatine, you can just stay over there and keep pretending to be normal. We're gonna go on with somebody else. Although I would love to get up in front of Senate and call for a vote of no confidence on Gary Gensler. That would be that'd be pre-empire and preemptive of what may be coming in the future. Nevertheless. So, let's continue just reading this article here for a second. Kraken will pay $30 million under the SEC settlement to cover civil penalties, prejudgment interest, and disgorgement, which is the money the regulator says it made via the improper conduct. Yeah, and so this has caused a big change in the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. On this news, Bitcoin and ETH dropped pretty substantially. We kind of knew this was coming anyway because Coinbase said that Coinbase founder Brian Armstrong said that there was a rumor going around. Well, his rumor seems to have been confirmed. If you remember to yesterday's stream, we had Brian Armstrong's Twitter up. Brian Armstrong being the founder and chief executive officer of the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase. Let me just go ahead and grab this really quickly here. Brian Armstrong. Let's see. Brian, am I spelling his name wrong? Where is he? I think he's Brian underscore Armstrong because somebody stole his name. Brian Armstrong, come on. Come on, Twitter, you can do it. Where'd he go? I'm confused. I don't know what happened here. Brian Armstrong's Twitter is gone. He's been deplatformed, I guess. I'm not quite sure what took place. Anyway, what I was saying is that Brian Armstrong tweeted out yesterday, and we talked about it in yesterday's stream, that essentially he was hearing rumors that the SEC was coming for staking. Sounds like we know where the rumors were coming from. Sounds like he probably knew something was going on over at Kraken that we all didn't. And again, on the news that Kraken was actually facing that charge and impairment. We saw the price of Ethereum drop quite substantially. So too did we see Bitcoin. This is really unfortunate, and this may be manipulated timing. I don't know. I don't really want to jump to that conclusion because, frankly, we just don't know right now. But it is very surprising, unsurprising, based on the way the market's been moving the last 6 months, that Bitcoin fell below its critical uptrend on this level, and we saw total market capitalization fall below its critical uptrending level. So we see Bitcoin fell below its level right here. We saw total market cap fall below its level, and then we saw Ethereum fall below both of its levels down to fresh lows. Right before we were hoping that the CPI data was going to drop and we were going to see CPI itself drop and we were going to see the entire market go through a pretty big rally. The question now is, since this news is broken, are we going to be able to see the market recover itself to a point where we have enough consumer confidence in this space that when we do see CPI drop, Bitcoin and Ethereum can break through resistance? If not, we're kind of stuck trading sideways right now, and that's going to be a big problem because we need to see Bitcoin break either bullish or bearish. We need to see Bitcoin either go up or down. We need to see Bitcoin move in one direction or the other. We don't want to see Bitcoin just trade sideways right where it is right now. It really needs to make a move here. And that's what I'm talking about. Let's just look at the Bitcoin chart for just a second. You can see the Bitcoin chart is really starting to slump. The Bitcoin market is really starting to fall over here. And that is not a good thing. That is quite a bad thing, actually. We want to see Bitcoin going through a rally. We want to see Bitcoin moving to the upside. Now, there is the argument here that while Bitcoin going through a correction isn't necessarily the most bullish thing, it could actually end up being a bullish thing in the long run because it would result in some kind of correction here. They would allow Bitcoin to reset itself and regain confidence and let the bulls take their profits while also allowing the bears to have their day for a little while before the market goes through a major uptrend and reversal. That much is possible and that much is true. So we can look at the effects that Bitcoin going through a correction would have on the rest of cryptocurrency here in a second, but just know that right now Bitcoin is sitting right above its pre-FTX highs, using it as support. We are very much hoping that this will hold, and moving into Tuesday on Valentine's Day, we will be able to see the market have a rally on that CPI news. But for the CPI news to really be a catalytic event, we need to have a rally going into the CPI news because, as I keep calling it, the CPI news coming out bullish is what we like to call a catalytic event. It is an event that catalyzes a reaction or a movement that is already ongoing. If the movement is already ongoing, then great. That means that we very well may see the market moving to the upside. But if not, then we run the risk of having the problem where the market doesn't have anything to catalyze if the CPI data comes in, and then the market could actually continue to drop. All right, well, let's go ahead and read chat here for a second, see what you guys are saying. I am going to go ahead and take this hat off because it is pretty hot. So you guys can just see my hair. Fix that. There we go. It's a little hot in this office. I need to figure out how to... There's like a really weird thermostat on here. It's like it's written in Klingon or something. I have no idea how to work it, and I need to make it a little cooler in here. Let's see. Jebb, I hate Gary. Don't hate Gary. Don't hate Gary. Gary the Snail's a pretty good guy. Let's see. SEC is no better than the Mafia. Whew. Yeah, some people really don't like the SEC. And by the way, isn't the Securities and Exchange Commission and any other popularly appointed, well, it's not popularly appointed, but in theory it should be, government organizations, shouldn't it be popular, at least somewhat, with the masses? Sorry, I've been wearing a hat all morning. Probably threw my hair off everywhere. I'm really wondering what I look like. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Looks crazy. There we go. Yep. All right. Oh, Crypto Mini Bike said just the subflooring. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. I was like, I'm not sure. I don't want to tell you what to do, but it sounds a little bit out of order. I've built a few buildings before, and I was like, I'm not sure that that's exactly the putting all the final flooring in before the roof. That's how you're going to get some rot in there. All right. May your coffee be awesome at Matt C. Boom. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do to avoid the fallout of this here in a second. A lot of you guys already have the idea, but I do want to make sure that we talk about it just so that everybody's on the same page. May your coffee remain hot while you sip. I'm thinking about starting to drink decaf coffee because I like coffee. I like the experience of drinking coffee, but as you know, I've been off of caffeine for 3 weeks now. And a lot of you are probably like, Jebb, you're getting off of caffeine with a newborn coming? What are you doing, dude? Well, I actually feel a lot better not having caffeine in my system because my energy has to come from food, and it forces me to actually eat a little bit of breakfast and get better sleep instead of relying on it. So I'm pretty excited to be off of caffeine. Pretty excited to be off caffeine. Maybe I'll bring back decaf coffee. Maybe I'll bring some decaf coffee. This is coffee and crypto after all. Anybody else think that Kraken may go broke? Everyone I know is getting their money out of it after this incident. I would not be surprised. Hopefully they have the financial setup to be able to handle something like that, but we shall see. Does Jebb show TA on this show? Yes, we're about to jump into some TA, absolutely. Security or not, this debate is really just nonsense. The government is powerful and will, in the end, get what they want. Not necessarily. At one point, the government wanted to ban alcohol. At one point, the government had banned marijuana. I'm not going to jump into whether or not either one of those things are good things or not, because people have different opinions on that. I don't really care. They didn't get what they wanted because they wanted both of those things to be illegal, but there were enough people that wanted it that it wasn't illegal anymore because they just couldn't enforce it. You can't enforce cryptocurrency quite as well as you think. You can enforce centralized exchanges, but you can't enforce all of that quite as much as you would. You can't enforce decentralized exchanges and decentralized projects as well as you would like because the United States is not the whole world, and it doesn't have jurisdiction or the ability to oversee the entire planet and every little nook and cranny of it. Scammers will always find a way to scam regardless of laws and regulation. Yes, that's true. We're going to get rid of criminals by just making what they're doing criminal. Yeah, right. Good luck on that. I'm staking my cash, 4.9% T-bills, no state tax. There you go. A lot of people are putting money into T-bills right now. All right. Yeah, and by the way, are T-bills securities? That little video of Gary Gensler making fun of stake versus stake was stupid. Yeah. Let's see. Let's read a little bit more chat. Lol, it's literally at 21.8. God, we were just at 15.6 and people are freaking out. So crazy how people don't get this. Yeah, that's kind of my point. Don't worry about it, guys. Bitcoin's going to be fine, especially Bitcoin. Ethereum might be under some trouble soon. Matt C said, at Crypto Jebb, I switched to caffeine years ago. I quit caffeine years ago and switched to decaf. It's great. Matt C said, gotta jump. Have a great show, everyone. Have a great day, Matt C. Good to see you, my friend. Jebb would be smart to stack Ethereum on Optimism or Arbitrum to save on fees during the bull market versus stacking it natively. Yeah, after this, I would be very careful about staking Ethereum on exchanges, personally. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here. We're going to jump into our next segment, and this is really, I just want to talk to you guys about what you can do in response to this. First and foremost, if you are on Kraken and you're staking on Kraken, you need to go and check your Kraken to get your staked cryptocurrency out of the staking protocol. Obviously, you need to go and handle that if you're a person that stakes on Kraken. Couple of other questions. Somebody just asked, Park said, any chance Ethereum mining coming back? Nope. Almost certainly not. And in theory, it's possible because there is still something called Ethereum Proof of Work, and there's Ethereum Classic. There's two different ones there, but they are so far behind on development. You'd have to send the Ethereum network back several years, and also you'd have to try and convince all of the people that have built on Ethereum to go through the monumental task of switching their basic infrastructure, the foundation of their protocol, to a different chain. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. You're not going to switch the entire ecosystem like that. It's just not, you're not going to be able to do it. The amount of work it took to switch the foundation of Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake was absolutely astronomical And you're not going to undo all of that. Ethereum is stuck with proof of stake now, and I think that it's going to end up staying proof of stake. But this is one of the things I've been telling you guys about for a couple of years, is that there are different kinds of technologies that involve staking, and they could end up coming for Ethereum, one of them being Cardano. Cardano has a much different staking mechanism than Ethereum does. If you'd like to see a video on that, I would love to talk to you about that at some point in the future. But the fact is, staking is different on different cryptocurrency protocols, and it's done on different cryptocurrency protocols differently, and those differences may end up making a big difference to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So keep that in mind. A couple of other things to keep in mind. If you are staking, try and stake in a wallet that is custodial rather than staking in a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange, such as Kraken, BlockFi, which BlockFi is bankrupt now, but Kraken, BlockFi, Gemini, whatever. If you're going to stake your cryptocurrency, stake it in a wallet where it is totally custodial, where you are not lending it more or less to someone else. That is one of the mistakes that a lot of people have made, and that I would encourage you to not make, is staking your cryptocurrency somewhere else. That's what I would say on that. Now, the other thing is that this should show you, even if you don't agree with the argument still, where some people like Michael Saylor are coming from when he says that everything except for Bitcoin is a security. I don't think that everything except for Bitcoin is a security. I'm not saying that, but what I will say is that there are a lot more arguments against a lot of the other smaller cryptocurrencies than there are against Bitcoin, because the other cryptocurrencies are a lot more complicated. Many of them do operate on proof of stake, which, as we can see, is coming under fire right now. And they are mixed up with this whole idea of it's a scam. Most people understand that Bitcoin is not a scam now. They may hear the word Bitcoin, they may think scam, but really what they're thinking about are the smaller projects. Bitcoin is worth $500 billion on the down, on a movement to the downside, and is doing great. Its blockchain is extremely simple when it comes down to the mechanism. As far as the different code and the different solutions that go in to make the whole thing work, you look under the hood, that thing's like a Formula One race car. But as far as how simple it is, there's a blockchain, you send transactions, the transactions get lumped into the blockchain, the block gets mined by the miner, you can explain it in 5 minutes to a 5th grader. I'm not saying the blockchain and the coding is simple, because it's far from simple. So, okay. So if there's a blockchain developer in chat, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to downplay what you do. I know under the hood, Bitcoin is very complicated, but on the surface, it looks like a car that my son would draw in preschool. It's very simple. Works very, very well. It's very hard to argue that that thing is a scam, because you can understand on a very basic level the way it works with a block. You have the other block stacks on top of it. You send the transaction in the block. A miner comes along, generates a random cryptographic hash, and then they mine the block, and then the block gets attached, and then there's 2 different chains, and then whichever chain wins out. If there's a split, then you go with the longest chain, and then you have a complete and total history of every single transaction in the history of Bitcoin. Elegance in simplicity, as Silent just said. Absolutely right. That's what I'm talking about. You get to Ethereum. That's why Ethereum needs so much more development, so much more time, and Cardano, same thing. Those are ridiculously complicated protocols. They are insanely nuanced. And so that does leave a lot more room for people to for people to say, those are scams, because they don't understand them. If Gary Gensler really wanted to help the industry, instead of getting on there and making a video comparing staking versus stakes, then he could get on there and say, here's a video explaining how Bitcoin works. Here's how it's not a security and how we're not going to regulate it. Instead of that, he wants to come for your staked cryptocurrency. Again, I'm not saying that Kraken, FTX, BlockFi, Gemini, Genesis, 3 Arrows Capital, Voyager, and all these other exchanges and all these other exchanges and venture capital projects and basically investment banks, little miniature investment banks, hedge funds, that's the word I was looking for. All these other hedge funds, they should definitely have more regulation. They should definitely have more disclosures. But Bitcoin is now and always will be top dog, and that's just another reason, is because it's simpler than the other ones. So, as far as what is this doing for Bitcoin? We're going to jump into that right now. Just want to give a shout out to Silent and JoJo in chat. I don't think I gave you guys a shout out at the beginning. Decaf coffee to me is like having gluten-free bread. I'll just have something else. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good point. But the thing is, if you can't have bread, isn't gluten-free bread better than nothing? I've never had gluten-free bread. I'll be honest, I don't even know what a gluten is. I'm just kidding. I don't know what gluten is. That's true, but I said a gluten just for the joke. I'm sorry. That was bad. Anyway, let's move on here. I like being awkward every once in a while because I find it funny. You might not find it funny, but I do. Anywho, let's go ahead and jump onto Bitcoin. Talking about Bitcoin here, it has gone through a small correction down below this uptrending level of support. Let's go ahead and bust out one of my favorite indicators in the entire history of cryptocurrency, and that would be Lux Algo Premium. A couple of problems here. First and foremost, this is now under a strong sell signal on the 4-hourly chart. This strong sell signal is the first confirmed strong sell signal that I actually would give any kind of credence since not even this strong sell signal. I wouldn't have used this one. But since this sell signal right over here, this was right after 2 CPI reports ago came out. This is in the first 2 weeks of December. At that point, we saw a sell signal. We were dropping down. Things were falling over. Yeah, I would have kind of taken this seriously. Wouldn't have taken this one very seriously because, I mean, come on. Everything's like just straight up. It's not even really up and to the right. It's just vertical. So this sell signal was like, okay, yeah, right. Let's just go ahead and prove it, market. But now the market's actually started to curve over, and we've actually got more of a continued trend from a local high around January 29th. It makes you think, okay, actually the market may be going into a new downtrend. This strong sell signal is corroborated by trend catcher turning red. Those two signals together make what I call a confirmed strong sell signal. They are confirmed because we have the sell signal, then we have trend catcher to confirm it. But there's other confirmations that I would say are secondary confirmations as well, such as the fact that the EQ cloud has turned red. And we have the reversal zones being broken into by Bitcoin. Bitcoin's almost broken into the bottom part of the reversal zone on the 4-hourly chart. That's not great. You want to see the market being able to stay above the reversal zone. Now, the other thing, on the daily chart, we actually did see a sell signal yesterday. We have not seen a sell signal since November the 7th, November the 8th, actually, and that was the day that FTX went bankrupt. From there, Bitcoin dropped 20% or so in a day. Of course, it makes sense. We had a sell signal there. At this point, we're having a sell signal as of yesterday. That flashed right around the end of the day as we saw that drop taking place after this news of Gary Gensler releasing his famous stake video. Ugh. Anyway, looking at the sell signal here, this forced Bitcoin to drop below, or the movement that led to the sell signal also led to Bitcoin dropping below this trend catcher. Being below trend catcher does not mean that this is a confirmed sell signal. This is still, as of yet, an unconfirmed sell signal in my book, but this is the first early warning sign that this could be something real. What we're going to want to look for now is whether or not Bitcoin is able to fall below, or whether or not it will fall below the uptrending EQ cloud. We are weeks, if not months, from the daily chart EQ cloud having any shot of turning bearish. And we're very, very, very far to the upside from that happening. We'd have to drop down to below 20K at least for it to start turning bearish. But if we do see this EQ cloud start getting penetrated and we start seeing the market go into it, then you start having to ask yourself the question, is this market going to be able to maintain this uptrend, or are we going to find a bottom and bounce down here above $18,000 to $19,000? That's what I would like to see. I would not mind at all, actually, seeing Bitcoin drop down to 20K and then bouncing from there and then going back into a rally. We just fall into the top part of the EQ cloud, and then we'd be able to rally from there. That would not be a terrible thing. However, it would erase a lot of the possibility of this next CPI print coming in and being very bullish, impacting Bitcoin. On the same front, we did just see a sell signal yesterday coming in on Lux Algo for Ethereum. Now, the difference here is that Ethereum is not Ethereum did not actually drop below the trend catcher, because the trend catcher never jumped up as far in the first place. So now we're kind of reaping the rewards of that. Ethereum instead did break 2 uptrending levels of support, and it is falling back down towards $1,500, which is a pretty major psychological zone and level of support. If Ethereum breaks below 1,500, it would also be breaking below the top of the EQ cloud, and it would also probably end up breaking below the trend catcher. That would take place if we drop below about 1,470. So there's a pretty strong level of zone of support right here on Ethereum. But also remember, Ethereum is really the cryptocurrency under fire right now, because Ethereum is the largest staking cryptocurrency in the entire industry. We were hoping that Ethereum would be able to sit up here in this ascending triangle pattern and break bullish, and if not for the fact that this news just came out from the Securities and Exchange Commission, we probably would have seen that take place in just the next few days. But, of course, isn't it always funny how whenever the government comes out with regulation or some kind of bearish event, it's always right when you're trying to crash the cryptocurrencies party. Coincidence? I think maybe. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But I do think it is a little bit odd that seems like a lot of times when the government does come out with some kind of FUD like this, it comes out at just the right time to prevent a major cryptocurrency market rally from taking place. So what that's done is caused total cryptocurrency market capitalization to break below its uptrend as well, and now it's in virtually the exact same position as Bitcoin. It's broken below the trend catcher, it is broken below its uptrending level of support, and now it's sitting on a level of support that we had before, right here around $965 billion. $965 billion is coming in from our local highs back over here and our local lows right over here. Same thing as on the 4-hourly chart for Bitcoin. We have actually now entered a strong sell signal on total cryptocurrency market capitalization. So this entire convergence that we've been looking for is effectively shattered right now. We wanted to see all three of these markets break above these three respective levels. These three, 1, 2, 3. These three respective levels. And as you can see, every single one of them is below the top two. These two top levels are the equivalent of these two top levels on Ethereum and these two top levels on total market capitalization. Every single one of them is below the top one, and now Bitcoin's trying to bounce off of the third and bottom most, whereas these markets rejected from them. So we still want to be looking for that setup at some point in the future, but Bitcoin is going to need to jump back up to $23,000. We're going to need to see total jumping back up towards $1 trillion, and you're going to need to see Ethereum jumping back up towards $1,700 for that to even be feasible. It is possible, and I do believe that it will happen within the next several months, but at this point, you're going to need to see some kind of bullish narrative or just bulls in general come in and buy the market and cause the market to go back into a rally, and from there, then the market may be able to recover that opportunity that it had before. We're hoping that CPI coming out will help to push Bitcoin to the upside, but as I said earlier, CPI is a catalytic event. If there's nothing to catalyze, then the reaction just doesn't happen. So let's go ahead and take a look at some chat. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. We've got over 550 people watching right now. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get to 300 likes. I know that's a bit of a stretch goal from where we are right now, but I believe we can do it. Help us out there, guys. I really appreciate that. Gluten protein found in wheat that holds food together. Gluten intolerance is hard on people. Huh. I don't know anything about gluten. If Gary is vegan, that's probably why he looks so pasty and malnutrition. Don't go after the guy's looks. Come on, man. There's plenty of things to go after in his policy. You don't have to go after his looks. Poor guy. All right. There are some gluten-free breads and other food items. Everybody's talking about gluten now. The complexity with cross-chain conversions means both sides of the exchange have to trust each other. That is the reason why, for now, I don't trust any of them personally. Yeah, and isn't that the reason that Bitcoin was built in the first place, was to be trustless? Some gluten-free bread is really good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about gluten-free bread for sure. I need another fat hole Bitcoin, not paying over $20,000. Looks like William Wonder wants Bitcoin to drop. Maybe he's the reason it's dropping. Everybody, check him out. He might be the one that's causing it to drop. I'm just kidding. Very unlikely that one person could cause that big of a movement. Unless you're Gary Gensler. Good day, all humans. Hope you're well. Good morning, Robert McDonald. Robot McDonald. There you go. Let's see. I guess your antivirus expired. This computer expired. I'm actually switching over to my Mac for streaming, hopefully in the next couple of days. Do apologize for that. No one's talking about the couch anymore, which could be a good thing. Oof, man. You had to bring the couch back up. That couch, golly. Can never get away from the idea of that couch. Yeah. All right. I'm not stacking, so trading and holding. There you go, guys. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Do that. Let's see. Everybody get him. William Wonder and I are going to crash Bitcoin in 34 days. Oh no, guys. Coming in March. March 15th, the Ides of March. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency drop like a rock. Movie trailer. Got to turn on the movie trailer voice. I've got the microphone for it. Coming the Ides of March. Vintage excellence. 60 knives into the Bitcoin price. Oh, man. I watched Dr. Sten Ekberg's videos where he explained why seed oils, modern farmed grains, and sugar are bad. I made some changes and it changed my life. Boom. I don't know anything about that, but I would love to check into it. I am working on getting off of sugar. I don't eat very much sugar. I normally eat pretty healthily, but I am looking to just kind of go, no more sugar. I'm thinking about doing that. Oh, man. Keep it up, Jebb, as always. A wonderful stream. Thank you, B-Rant. living rent-free in our stream chat. Thank you so much. Follow the trends, people. Exactly. The trend is your friend until its end. And this trend to the upside has not ended. Jojo says, explode the like button. Explode the like button. Oh, man. If someone thinks Bitcoin is too expensive, they're in the wrong game. Let's see. What else? I think I've read all the chat. Maybe you could do a video about why you use the indicators you do. Well, we may just have an announcement coming about that next week. Maybe just have an announcement coming about that next week. My body feels much better. No cream, no sugar. Sounds like the beginning to a psalm. Body feels so much better. No cream, no sugar. Your stream quality is looking so much better. What did you change? Well, we do have a very high-quality camera that we're shooting on. This is a Canon EOS R with a 28 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens, so the bokeh's nuts. Like if I just put the lens cap right here and let it focus on that, I don't know if it'll focus on it. You see how much bokeh there is right there? It's face tracking. See the depth of field? That's the real thing that's making it look so creamy. Oh, now it's focused on the background. Come back to me. Hello. You can, just, let's see. Got this from years ago. Let's see if it'll focus on this on my desk. I don't think it will because it can see me through it. There we go. See? You can see the bokeh right there. A lot of it's the camera. The set also looks pretty solid. I like this wood wall, but I've got some more ideas for the set coming up pretty soon. We've got an announcement coming next week. Yeah. Living rent-free in our stream. Ivan on Tech, no cream, no sugar. Does Ivan on Tech make videos anymore? Why did he stop doing YouTube? He was good at it. I know he's got his Telegram because mine's always going off. But yeah, you can't lock the focus on you, bro. I know the focus is locked on face tracking autofocus. Propsum stream hardware upgrade is very affordable at the moment. Yeah, no, I've got a lot of streaming equipment, and I'm kind of chucking all of it out the window because I am using, I'm making it a lot more simple so it can travel. Many YouTubers don't use the focus lock, and it has adverse effects. Yeah, face tracking autofocus is a wonderful thing. Like even put the microphone up here, you can see it's out of focus. It's just face tracking on me. I think if I do this, it'll face track on the. Nope, still on me. Canon has some great face tracking autofocus. I want to get a cinema camera, but I'm probably going to hold off because this camera already looks so dang good. Agreed. Good Morning Crypto is one of my staples. Second to Jebb stream, of course. Oh, thank you, Silent. My boss just told me to have a good day, so I guess I'm going now. Oh no. What does that mean? Are you all right? All right. Give this man a thumbs up, folks. Thank you, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the drama that I accidentally started on Twitter yesterday. Where's the hat in question? Here we go. Here's the hat in question. Let's just play around with the bokeh a little bit more. This is the hat that caused all the drama. This right here. This is the hat that caused all the drama. Looking on our Twitter, you can see what I did. I said hashtag crypto dad here. And I think a lot of you thought that our baby had come, that our daughter had come. I need to clarify something because everybody was like, yeah, congratulations, Jebb. And by the way, the response was absolutely awesome. And I'm going to go through and respond to all of these messages at some point. I just haven't had a chance to because I posted this late yesterday. Our daughter is not here yet. She will be here in early April, we believe, if she comes at the right time. But this got 400 likes, 414 likes, and 40,000 views. And everybody's like, congratulations, Dad. Congratulations on the arrival of the wonderful baby. Congratulations, Jebb. You'll be a great Christ-centered dad. So much love here in chat, and I feel so terrible. I feel so bad. Even Sam Price came out. Crypto Lifer was showing up. What's up, Crypto Lifer? And then this guy photoshopped me to look like I'm a hippie. Like, the funny thing is I have a Dreadnought Junior guitar like right over here in the same room that this was taken. So if I was just holding the guitar, it would have worked well with this. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Looking good. Congratulations. Prayers for the family. Let the accelerated aging begin. I got me one of them too. But she's not here yet. So I feel terrible. I was not trying to trick you guys. But it definitely caused a lot of drama. And then everybody's linking the Crypto Dads NFT. We are dads and we like crypto. Simple as that. Yep, fair enough. I'm a crypto dad now. I have no idea what this is. Oh, no. What in the world? Whoa, okay. We're going to not look at that. IRS daddy waiting for the profits. Yeah, there you go. So I did not mean to mislead everyone. Our baby's not here yet, but I am very, very thankful for the loving response. You guys went nuts in chat. If you guys haven't seen my Twitter, I did post this of my son. You guys really liked this. This was, we were by a mulch pile at some friend's house, and this was my son, Malachi. Malachi will not be on camera. This is my son. But Shadow, I guess that doesn't bother anything. You can see the hat right there. Boom. Cool. So, didn't mean to gyp all of you guys on Twitter. I did not realize you guys would all take it that way. I was saying crypto dad because I'm already a dad to a son, and obviously I'm a dad to a daughter. She just hasn't been born yet. Dad jokes. Yep, the dad jokes are coming in thick and fast. That was not drama. It was party warm-up. There you go. I have a crypto dad coffee mug. That'd be a good idea to make, is a crypto dad coffee mug. Gary Gensler in a previous video stated Bitcoin is real. He never mentioned altcoins in that statement. Bitcoin will be fine. Yeah, we'll see. Malachi's shadow reveal stream. It's really funny. Yesterday, and I'm not going to show this video on stream because obviously Malachi's in it, but yesterday we were at the office with Malachi, and he was sitting in my chair right here, and I put the headphones on him. And so these headphones, they have... So they're live monitoring. So they're literally instantaneous monitoring. There's absolutely no delay whatsoever, which is wonderful because if I want to like sit here and practice singing or something, then I can, and it's going to sound like it's coming from an actual like professional sound system because that's what it is, a professional studio grade sound system that I've set up here. But this microphone, if you talk into it, then you can hear it in these headphones. So I was like whispering into the microphone. My son was holding the headphones on. He's like, what? He's like going crazy. So I was sitting here singing in this microphone. He could hear it in his ears, and he thought that was really cool. He was like, headphone? He's a great kid. He figured out how to say dinner last night, and then he figured out how to say bagel this morning. His vocabulary is just shooting through the roof, that kid. All right, we're going to read chat here for the rest of the stream. It is Friday. It is Fence-Off Friday, so now would be a great time if you guys have any questions on the concept of cryptocurrency, or anything for that matter, then feel free to go ahead and drop them. Did you know Gary Gensler has a twin brother? I did not, but this sounds like the beginning of some kind of joke. Jebb, I don't say much in chat, but know that I'm always here. Always appreciate what you do. Thank you so much, Jeff Farmer. Thank you so much, Jeff Farmer. I am really looking forward to the idea. Jeff Farmer also said, Jebb, you're the best. Thank you. I am definitely not the best, but I do appreciate the sentiment. I am really looking forward to being able to make more content here on the channel. We've got an announcement that we're going to be making most likely next week. I've been kind of teasing this for a while, but there's likely going to be an announcement made next week. And after that announcement is made and launched, then I've got some things I want to work on here on the channel that I think you guys are really going to love. I think you guys are going to really, really love. No, it's true. He has a twin. Google it. Really? Is he the evil twin or is he the good twin? The other one. How do you think Cardano will be impacted by this downward trend? Cardano really gets caught up in the price action of what the rest of the market is doing, but it's continuing to develop technology. That's what I like. He's an evil twin. Maybe he has an evil twin and they switch places. Being a dad is the best job. It is the best job. Well, it's the second best job after being... Well, actually, it's the third best job. The first best job is being a follower of Christ. The second best job is being a husband. And then, yes, the third best job is being a dad. But, man, it is a great job. I love it. Let's see. Lots of volume on BTC happening right now. Testing horizontal support. Absolutely silent. That is one of the things that I may not have mentioned, but right now Bitcoin is very much trying to hold this level. And a lot of that is having to do with VRVP. This is the kind of the beginning of a lot of VRVP support. You can see, just looking back over the rest of the market, there's quite a large zone of VRVP support that Bitcoin is falling into right now that will hopefully hold it up. The vast majority of this trading back here happened below 21.5. So if Bitcoin is able to hold above 21.5, then that is going to get our stamp of approval. Good deal. Jebb, sending love to Sarah, Malachi, and your baby girl. Thank you so much. Who is your TA teacher? YouTube. I learned everything I know on YouTube and through Googling stuff on the internet, and I tell you what, it took thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. Time that I had when I was single and when I was just a random dude But now I definitely, if it weren't my job, would have had the time to do what I did back then, because I spent like 10 hours a day studying every single day. And I really, really wish that I had one cohesive, concise place to go and learn all of it. That's why we created CT2A a while ago. And that's why, well, we'll talk about that later. Praise the Lord, brother. So cool to have a dude that stands for Christ. Amen. Agreed. Third best job. That is not in any way to put down my son. That is the order of things. God created his relationship with man first. Then he created man and woman's relationship with each other through marriage. And then he created the relationship of parent and child. And then he created all the other relationships. I call it the order of created relationships. Or the created order of relationships, however you want to say it. They're identical twins. Interesting. Maybe there's one behind the scenes pulling the shots. That's why Gary Gensler's doing so much. There's actually two of them. It's just, they look the same, so they can be in two places at once. That's how he's able to actually do his job, regulating the stock market, and then be over here bothering the cryptocurrency market. Maybe that's how he does it. Dang it, I'm late. Hello, Silasy Borg. Yeah, we are going to be wrapping up here in a minute, but we're doing just a little bit of question and answer time before we go ahead and move on here. So, any questions you guys have, now is the time. Let's see. Where can I get Crypto Jebb swag to wear around Gainesville? Well, merch is on the to-do list, but it's not very high on the to-do list because there's a lot I want to do on the YouTube channel first. I would love to do merch at some point in the future, but it's not going to happen right now. What are the CPR levels? I heard some TAs talking about it and not sure how it's calculated and how important they are. CPR levels. CPR levels, TA. Not sure. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about there. I might know what it means if you spell it out and it's not in the abbreviation, but I can't tell you I'm familiar with that. Bitcoin Trini said, absolutely, sir. There you go. But yes, as far as Crypto Jebb swag, I believe we will have some Crypto Jebb swag at some point in the future. Can you interview Gary's twin? I would love to interview Gary's twin. That would be very funny. I wonder what his name. I wonder if his name is Larry. You know, I don't know what it is, but whenever people have twins, they always name them rhyming names. It's so confusing. Or they name them alliteratively. Like we had our family come and stay, some of Sarah's family come and stay, and they had 4 kids, wonderful kids. Loved getting to meet them and have them stay with us with their parents and whatnot. All 4 of their names started with an A. Very confusing for the first couple of days while I was trying to say, like, okay, so wait a minute, you're this one, you're that. I'm not going to say the name on stream just for, I mean, they probably would want me to, but just for the sake of, I'm not sure where their parents would stand on that. So I'm not going to say their names, but all 4 of their names started with A. It's like, you guys did that on purpose, didn't you? All right. My girls are Lillian and Leia. Leia's a nice name. We're still working on a name for our daughter. We think we've got it pretty much nailed down, but maybe Sarah and I will talk about the name Leia. That's a pretty cool name. I think it is Larry. Not sure. I don't remember. But really? Really? Wait a minute. Okay. Gary Gensler's twin. Let's see. I swear, if he is actually named Larry. Oh, Robert. His name's Robert. Man. Must be 18 or older to view this community. What? What? Reddit? Huh? Gary Gensler's. 10 things you didn't know about Gary Gensler. Born to a Jewish family. I did not know that. Okay. Chairman of the CFTC. I know. Where? Robert. No. That's at the Brookings Institute. It looks like his name is Robert. I need to see a picture of this. The Gensler twins are like the proverbial peas in a pod, only more so. They are 99.99% molecular match. There's a Bloomberg article, and it's one of those articles that's going to make me pay for it. I am not paying for you, Bloomberg. This says that his brother's name is Robert. Robert. Interesting. Huh. All right. Cool. Kraken auto destaked all stake tokens except for ETH staked, and as soon as the Shanghai update happens, the staking will finish. Hey, Jebb, any thoughts on when Celsius earned folks will get their funds back, and what type of haircut do you think will be once the things are finally settled? What kind of haircut do you think there will be once the things are finally settled? Probably, if you're talking about haircut as in, hey, you instead of getting 100% back, you're getting 40 cents on the dollar, probably a whole lot. Probably a lot. Bob and Gary. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, man. I didn't even think about it like that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Everybody's saying Gary Gensler is evil. His parents were prophets. They knew that SpongeBob was going to come out. That is so funny. That is hilarious. SpongeBob and Gary. Oh, man. Makes even more sense. He's a snail. Everybody thought he was crook. He's not a crook. He's just crooked. You know, his shell just crooks in on itself. There you go. If she would have been born a boy, we would have called him Luke and Leia. Aw, that's cute. That is really funny. Robert and Bob and Gary. As far as when Celsius Earn folks will get their money back, no, I honestly don't. It's going to be a while, unfortunately. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap out the stream. If you enjoyed today's stream, do me a few things for a favor. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter, where I will update you when our baby is actually here, but she is not actually here, and I'll make it a little bit more plain and simple, a little bit more clear. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out Lux Algo. You saw Lux Algo in action today. It is a wonderful technical indicator that you guys are going to definitely appreciate if you get it. And also stay on the lookout because we've got a couple of announcements coming over the next couple of weeks, and we are really, really excited for it. So before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.